Good morning, Kirk in the morning starts now. It is 8th of August 2022. It is said your vote, your future. Only 21 days or 21 hours remaining to the general election that will be happening tomorrow. That is 9th of August 2022. You can interact and ask questions as well as comment on all our social media pages. Remember, we are also coming to you live on Facebook and YouTube. That is Kirk TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Kirk in the morning on Twitter. That is Kirk TV_Kenya. On Instagram is KirkTV.Kenya. So welcome, this is Kirk in the morning. We'll be bringing you up to speed with everything that is expected of you this week, everything that happened during the weekend, everything that will be happening tomorrow as far as elections is concerned. So my colleague Chris Sambu is on standby at the Bomas of Kenya, and he'll be putting us up to speed on exactly what the IEBC will be saying. That is in the afternoon, where they'll be giving us or just sharing with the media as a press briefing of how ready they are to conduct the general election. Welcome. My name is Aida Munzati. Kirk in the morning starts now. Let's look at the traffic updates. Well, you can interact with us as well on our SMS and WhatsApp number. That is 0111 220044. Share your comments as well as questions, even as we continue with Kirk in the morning. So let us look at the traffic update. So we start in the Central Business District, that is the CBD, where the traffic is slow but moving. Just looking at downtown, that is around Kamukunji. The traffic is also slow but moving. Looking at State House Road, the traffic is moving. At Koinange Street, it's also slow but moving. Just looking at Mbagathi Way, there's a little bit of traffic, so if possible you can find an alternative route right there. So the Central Business District is a little bit open. Looking at Kenyatta Avenue, there's quite some traffic there, so you can always find an alternative route. Kenyatta Avenue is not moving at all. Looking at that is City Hall Way is clear. The traffic right there is moving. So that's the traffic update. So you can just find alternative routes in case there is some traffic. But in the Central Business District, the traffic is slow but moving. Remember, this is Kirk in the morning, and the hashtag to use is Kirk in the morning. You can make it interactive on all our social media pages. That is Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook and YouTube, Kirk TV_Kenya on Twitter, and KirkTV.Kenya on Instagram. As I said earlier, my colleague Chris Sambu is on standby at the Bomas of Kenya, and he'll just be sharing with us over what exactly is happening at the Bomas of Kenya. Remember, that is the National Tallying Center where the presidential results will be brought to you live at the Bomas of Kenya starting tomorrow in the evening after the elections have been voted. So we go straight to the newspaper review. Well, so on the newspaper review, we look at the Standard newspaper as well as the Daily Nation. And as I mentioned, it's only 21 hours to the general election. Your vote is your future. So just looking at the Standard newspaper, it's all matters election, even as we only have 21 hours to the D-Day, that is tomorrow. So the Standard newspaper on the top page, that is why Kenya needs you. This is in terms of voting, and just a commentary from the Standard newspaper. Tomorrow, Wananchi will brave long queues to elect the country's 5th president and other leaders. There has never been a better time for Kenyans to demonstrate their civic duty to vote. So, and there is also a quote, just as far as elections are concerned. Your vote can be the key that opens the door for leaders who will be accountable to you. And equally important, your vote can be the key that locks out the corrupt and greedy individuals. So that is Matters election. That is on the top page of the Standard newspaper. Just on the lower page of the Standard newspaper, there is how whatever happened yesterday, that is as far as the Azimio la Umoja and Kenya Kwanza's presidential candidates are concerned, where leaders turned to prayers a day to the general election. So on the left side of the lower side of the Standard newspaper, that is Azimio la Umoja flag bearer Raila Odinga and his running mate Martha Karua praying at the KICC in Nairobi yesterday. You can find that story in the Standard newspaper. And on the right side is UDA's presidential candidate William Ruto with Nairobi Senator Johnson Sakaja pray during a church service at Jesus Teaching Ministry in Donholm, Nairobi. So those are stories that you can find on the or inside the Standard newspaper. And just on the second page of the Standard newspaper is just a story as far as voter education is concerned. It's all about it will not be mandatory to cast ballots for all 6 elective posts. So it won't be a must for you to vote for all 6 elective elective posts. If you're voting for president and their deputy, that will be it. If you don't feel like voting for the president, that will be it. If you're only voting for the governor and the senator, it's also allowed. So that's the story that you can find on the second page of the Standard. Just looking at the third page of the Standard newspaper is all about prayers, even as we head to the general election. Remember, it's only 21 days remaining to the general election. So as far as prayers are concerned, so clerics urge leaders Kenyans to shun violence and accept poll results. So that's a story that you can find on the third page of the Standard newspaper. The fourth page of the Standard newspaper is still about election, and it says this is not a vote for your favorite candidate, this is a vote for Kenya. Remember, IEBC tagline is your vote, your future. And the Standard newspaper puts it very right that this is not a vote for your favorite candidate. This is a vote for Kenya. So just practice peace even as we head to the general election, even as we head only 21 days to the election day. Remember, the polling stations will open as early as 6 a.m. So we change gears to the Daily Nation. Remember, this is Kirk in the morning on the newspaper review. So let us just look at the Daily Nation. It's still on matters general election. So who takes it? That's the headline on the top page, or rather top page of the Daily newspaper. And just to read is William Samoei Ruto, a youthful 55, and on his first presidential campaign, still radiates the vigor of the YK92 era when he made his entry into politics while still a fresh-faced university graduate. So that's a story about William Ruto, and you can just read and understand more about William Ruto's background even as we head to the general election. So that's a story that you can find on the Daily newspaper. And just on the side of the Daily newspaper, there is a story about President Uhuru Kenyatta. So he says Uhuru talks to Mount Kenya in last dash broadcast. So that's still a story that you can find on page 14 of the Daily newspaper. Still on the Daily newspaper, it still matters general election. So there is a subheading here, what Kenyans will be voting for tomorrow. Remember, we have 6 elective polls, and as the Standard newspaper mentioned, you don't have to vote for all 6 candidates. So it's still a story on the Daily Nation. You can find it on page 2 of the Daily Nation. So we'll just go to page 10 and 11 of the Daily Newspaper, this is a story about Raila. As mentioned, these are stories that if you want to know more about the top presidential candidates, that is Raila Odinga and William Ruto. So it's about DP Ruto's backyard expects his first strike goal into State House. Remember, this is the first time that the deputy president, that is William Ruto, is vying for the top seat in Kenya. Looking at Raila, this is not his first time, definitely. He's tried for a number of times, and the subheading is Raila's city bedroom heavily expectant as all signs point to win. Remember, these headline, that is all signs pointing to Raila Odinga winning, is just in relation to the polls that were shared with different polling companies, including Atifa, where they still showed that Raila Odinga was leading and Deputy President William Ruto was coming in second. So that's all stories that were in the daily newspapers. Remember, that is a Daily Nation and The Standard. You can grab a copy and get to read of everything that was in it. And that's all we had for you on the news updates. So we'll be taking a very short commercial break, but just to put you up to speed, we've done the newspaper review or just the newspaper updates as well as the traffic updates. And as I mentioned earlier, my colleague Chris Sambu is on standby at the Bomas of Kenya, and he'll just be sharing with us of what exactly the IEBC is doing right there. Remember, the Bomas of Kenya is the National Tallying Center. So Chris Sambu is on standby, and in a few, when we come back, probably after the break, we'll just get to listen from him of what exactly is happening at the Bomas of Kenya. Remember, the chairman, IEBC chairman, that is Wafula Chebukati, is also expected to share a briefing to the press. Remember, it's only 21 hours to the general election. So we take a very short commercial break. Remember, we're also coming to you live on all our social media pages, Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook and Kirk TV Kenya on YouTube. The hashtag to use is hashtag Kirk in the morning. You can also make it interactive on our SMS number, which is also our WhatsApp number, that is 0111 2200 44. We'll be back after this short break. Without health, life is not life. As human beings, we need complete mental, physical, and social well-being, not just the absence of disease. Regardless of what disease, condition, health system status, or information gap, we are here not just to convey or state, but to explain and break it down in the most basic way, for your health is key and it matters. Every Monday from 7:30 p.m., I will help you find out how to look after your health, live healthier for longer, and be in total control of your health.
Good journalism is bold, in-depth, unique. Kirk TV reflects and the hub of feature stories. Watch us for exceptional stories that are about you, from you, and for you. Kirk TV presents itself as the hub of feature stories. Ranging from health and environment,
either there is extreme drought or extreme floods. and this will affect people.
Religion and politics.
And the man looked at the boy, looked at the mother, and told the boy, going forward, don't wet the bed again.
There come a time when the nation is more important than an individual.
Education and socio-economic issues.
Nasaidika kwa sababu nikishona moja mbili nauza, napata kitu ya kulisha watoto.
I have met with other tribes which I have never met before.
To other stories that touch on your day-to-day life.
Njaa ndio iko mingi zaidi. Tafadhali mnisaidia maji ya nyazi.
Tingatinga amekanyanga kila kitu.
Hatujawahi kuona mabadiliko yote kuhusiana na serikali ya kujengea sisi.
Kwanza kitu naweza omba tu nishikiliwe tu pande ya masomo tu ya watoto.
Kirk TV, the hub of feature stories.
For now, let me take this opportunity to thank you very much. I know also you are going to be all over the country. Our only prayers is that you don't just focus on the town centers. If it is possible, you should go to the rural areas and cover those areas that most
Welcome back. Remember, it's only 21 hours to the general election. My name is Ida Munzati, and this is Kirk in the morning. So the hashtag to use is Kirk in the morning, as well as Uchaguzi 2022. Remember, we are also coming to you live on our social media platforms. That is Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook and YouTube. The SMS number, which is also our WhatsApp number to use, is 01112200. On Twitter, we are at Kirk TV Kenya. Welcome. This is Kirk in the morning, and straight to the news updates. So 6th August witnessed a huge showdown from the two main contenders of the presidential seat as Azimio la Umoja One Kenya holding its final rally at the Kasarani Stadium in Nairobi. Speaking about his 100 days in government, Raila Odinga promised to bring an end to corruption and roll out several projects to enhance services in the country.
The Auditor General tells us that 800 billion shillings is stolen every year through corruption. 800 billion shillings is twice the economy of two of our neighbors in the East African community. Who do you feel is best qualified to dismantle this cartel of thieves? Dear Kenyans, people have asked us how we will give 6,000 shillings to poor families. Hello? Hello? I repeat, people have asked us how we will give 6,000 shillings to poor families. But that is the wrong question. The question we should be asking is how a few corrupt people got to be paid 800 billion shillings every year from our budget. How did the government afford this? How did these people con us? If we could afford to pay 800 billion to con men, you can afford to pay a mere 6,000 shillings to known and real Kenyans struggling with life. What these families need is a direct injection from government. These families need direct government funds to feed their children. So, in the first 100 days, my government will begin paying 6,000 shillings to families living below the
Well, that's Azimio la Umoja One Kenya's presidential candidate Raila Odinga during his final campaigning speech at the Kasarani Stadium. So, on the other hand, Kenya Kwanza's presidential candidate William Ruto held his final rally at Nyayo Stadium. Ruto as well making several promises to Kenyans if elected as president and calling Kenyans to come out and vote on the 9th of August.
So it's as clear as day is from night. On Tuesday, you will be choosing between the team that has a plan about the future of our country and the team that will tell you many stories about the past and what happened in the past. I want to tell you.
Very short breather. My colleague Chris Sambu is on standby at the Bomas of Kenya and will be coming back with him live, just updating us on what exactly is happening and what the IEBC Commission is doing. So Chris Sambu is on standby at the Bomas of Kenya. We take a very short breather. We'll be right back with him. Without health, life is not life. As human beings, we need complete mental, physical, and social well-being, not just the absence of disease. Regardless of what disease, condition, health system status, or information gap, we are here not just to convey or state, but to explain and break it down in the most basic way, for your health is key and it matters. Every Monday from 7:30 p.m., I will help you find out how to look after your health, live healthier for longer, and be in total control of your health.
Good journalism is bold, in-depth, unique, captivating, reflects, and the hub of feature stories. Watch us for exceptional stories that are about you, from you, and for you. Kirk TV presents itself as the hub of feature stories. Ranging from health and environment,
Either there is extreme drought or extreme floods, and these will affect people.
religion and politics.
And the man looked at the boy, looked at the mother, and told the boy, going forward, don't wet the bed again.
There come a time when the nation is more important than an individual.
Education and socio-economic issues.
Nasaidika kwa sababu nikishona moja mbili nauza, napata kitu ya kulisha watoto.
I have met with other tribes which I have never met before.
To other stories that touch on your day-to-day life.
Ja ndio iko mingi zaidi. Tafadhali mnasaidia maji ya nyazi.
Tinga amekanyanga kila kitu.
Hatujawahi kuona mabadiliko yote kuhusiana na serikali ya kujengea sisi.
Kwanza kitu naweza omba tu nishikiliwe tu pande ya masomo tu ya watoto.
Kirk TV, the hub of feature stories.
Yetu,
I'm Rhoda Wangeshi from Kitui. Yes.
So now we are heading to general election.
Yes.
Now, when I look at young youth. Yeah, so what would be your message towards the youth maybe who are being used to cause violence in political campaigns, or even during or after general election, that is after August 9? What would be your message? Okay, I'm urging all the youth to remain peaceful. It should not be used as a piece or as an instrument of violence to this election, because there is life after elections. We still need peace. We still need our economy to rise. So stay peaceful and be safe. Thank you. All right.
For now, let me take this opportunity to thank you very much. I know also you are going to be all over the country. Our only prayers is that you don't just focus on the town centers. If it is possible, you should go to the rural areas and cover those areas that more.
Choose life, that you may love the Lord your God.
If you delight yourself in the Lord, He will make you fruitful in whatever season you are in.
Listen to His voice and hold fast to Him.
That as disciples ourselves, we're being invited to be transformed more fully every single day.
In our walk with God, let us know that we are assured victory in every battle.
For the Lord is your life.
Live a pure life. Are you living a righteous life before the Lord? It is possible. People are wondering, can you do without corruption? Yes, I can stand and say it is possible to do without corruption.
Don't miss season 2 of the evening epilogue every day at 9:30 p.m. only on Kirk TV.
Hii idea ilikuja ukiwa third year in school, in college.
Actually nilikuwa natafuta multiple income streams, maybe to so that I could survive comfortably in school. So we do house cleaning, which is deep house cleaning, where we clean every space in the house. Post-construction cleaning, where we manage the cleaning after the construction is over. We clean all the mess, like all the paint spillage, remove all the remnants of construction and dispose them carefully.
Ile naweza ambia vijana ni wasitumiwe vibaya na wanaotaka uchaguzi. Tuangalie wasitutumie vibaya, juu wanaweza tutumia vibaya, na ukishikwa hakuna mmoja atakutetea, na wao hii ni kazi wanatafuta. Na sasa akipata kazi na alikuwa amekwambia uzue vurugu, yeye ataenda majuu na wewe utambaki huku kwenyu na hakuna atakayekusaidia. Sasa naweza omba vijana wasikuwe na vurugu, waendeleze siasa ya amani na tukue na undugu. Hii Kenya ni yetu, na uchaguzi ukiisha tutabaki hii Kenya na haitaenda mahali. So wadumishe tu imani.
Good journalism is bold, in-depth, unique. Kirk TV reflects the hub of feature stories. Watch us for exceptional stories that are about you, from you, and for you. Kirk TV presents itself as the hub of feature stories. Ranging from health and environment,
either there is extreme drought or extreme floods, and these will affect people.
Religion and politics.
And the man looked at the boy, looked at the mother, and told the boy, going forward, don't wet the bed again.
There come a time when the nation is more important than an individual.
Education and socio-economic issues.
Nasaidika kwa sababu nikishona moja mbili nauza, napata kitu ya kulisha watoto.
I have met with other tribes which I have never met before.
To other stories that touch on your day-to-day life.
Ja ndio iko mingi zaidi. Tafadhali mnasaidia maji ya nyazi.
Tinga amekanyanga kila kitu.
Hatujawahi kuona mabadiliko yote kuhusiana na serikali ya kujengea sisi.
Kwanza kitu naweza omba tu nishikiliwe tu pande ya masomo tu ya watoto.
Kirk TV, the hub of feature stories.
Welcome back. This is Kirk in the morning. The hashtag to use is Uchaguzi 2022 as well as Kirk in the morning. We are coming to you live as well on all our social media pages, Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook and YouTube. On Twitter, we are at Kirk TV_Kenya. So as mentioned, Chris Sambu is on standby at the Bomas of Kenya. We'll just be going live there in a few, but let's continue with the news updates just on a story on a call for peace where Archbishop Martin Kivuva, the Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Nairobi, spoke to the media. In his speech and prayer, Archbishop Kivuva called for peace as Kenyans head to the general election for their next leaders, a challenge to Kenyans as well to elect and vote in leaders of integrity and vision. In his speech, Kivuva asked politicians to accept the results, whether in their favor or not.
My dear Kenyans and people of goodwill, we stand before you today as we hear the voice of our bishops, and the bishops have been talking to us, other churches have been talking to us, and many people of the faith have been talking to us. So we stand before you today as we finally come to the day, and the day which is close to the campaign period, which has ended the campaign period. We appreciate that the peaceful process up until now, to those who have dared to work peacefully. We thank all political candidates who have run their elections peacefully, all voters who have carried themselves with civility, even when provoked into violence. The security agencies for doing their work professionally, and the many actors, especially the religious leaders who have unceasingly called for peaceful election period. The big message to you all at this time is come out and vote. And I repeat, come out and vote. Jitokeze upige kura. Come out and vote on the 9th of August 2022. Dear Kenyans, we are a God-loving country. We are children of God. And as we close the period of electioneering, we are called to remind ourselves that Kenyans are children of God. God is common father of all, irrespective of tribe, religion, and even where we come from. We should therefore not fear to see Ogope. With only 2 days to the election day, we, the Catholic bishop, wish to exhort you and say, take courage, be ready to vote. We prayed, we have been praying, and in these last 2 days, we have already discerned, we want to continue to discern to vote, who to vote for. We learn how the apostles prayed and discerned and guided by God those to choose Matthias and take the office of the apostles. Elections campaigns have ended since yesterday. We should therefore dedicate today and tomorrow to continue and strengthen our prayer, what we are calling the Triduum, the 3 days of prayer, in order we can discern who to vote for. We encourage you to step up. Our message therefore is to ask each voter to find a quiet place. Tulia, kama hujapata lolote mpaka sasa, tafakari kwa undani wa kisala na undani wa kwamba usipitiwe kuamshwa na kelele za kampeni tena. We your shepherds have already invited all people of God to a Triduum of prayer from Saturday to Monday. Second, to the youth of Kenya, this is your present future. Our dear young people, we are aware of the challenges that may hinder your personal education, microfinance, support, difficulties in finding a job, opportunities to find people to support your dreams. We, as your shepherd, share your dreams and desire for a prosperous country in which we will have opportunities you deserve.
Well, of course, that's a call for peace, or a message calling for peace from the Archbishop of Mombasa, that is Martin Kivuva, just calling upon Kenyans to conduct peaceful elections. His message is addressed especially to youths. Remember, this is a target group for many politicians, so it's a call for peace. And if you would love to share your message for peace as well, feel free to do that on our SMS number, that is 0111220044, as well as on our social media pages on Twitter, Kirk TV_Kenya, Facebook and YouTube, Kirk TV Kenya. So as I mentioned earlier, Chris Sambo is on standby at the Bomas of Kenya. Remember, that is the National Tallying Center for the presidential results. So Chris Sambo, if you can hear me, you can just let us know of what exactly is happening at the Bomas of Kenya, what activities are there, and what are we expecting from the IEBC Commissioner? Will we be having pressers as well? What updates are we expecting from the Independent and Electoral Commission headed by its chairman, that is Wafula Chebukati? So remember, you can share with us your messages of peace through our SMS number, that is 0111220044. Remember, the IEBC shared its very latest briefing, that is on Saturday, just telling us that the manual register is back, so that will be used just in case the electronic system fails. So they shared that the manual register is back, and Saturday was also the final day for the campaigns, that is from the different alliances, as well as transporting of the presidential ballot papers or the presidential ballots. This includes all voting materials as well as the presidential papers. So Chris Sambo is on standby. We'll just be going at Bomas of Kenya live in a few. He'll just be updating us on what exactly to expect from the Bomas of Kenya if the Independent and Electoral Commission headed by Wafula Chebukati, if they'll be sharing with us pressers and just telling us of how prepared they are. Remember, it's only 21 hours remaining to the general election. So Chris Sambu will also be sharing with us activities at Bomas of Kenya. He'll share with us different updates and just a recap of what we mentioned as far as voting is concerned, remember there are 6 elective posts. We have the member of parliament, the president, the governor, senator, women representative, as well as MCAs. Remember, as the Independent and Electoral Commission, as well as the observers and even media have shared, you don't necessarily need to vote for all the 6 elective posts. So you have to choose. If you have not yet decided over which MCA you're going to vote for, it's still allowed that you can vote for the candidates that you've made a decision upon. However, remember, it's good to vote for all the 6 presidential candidates. So Chris Sambu will just be sharing with us more about this. Remember, he's live at the Bomas of Kenya, where he will be giving us updates on what exactly is happening there, the elections, preparations, as well as updates if the Independent and Electoral Commission will be giving us pressers on how prepared they are. Just to tell you as well, Saturday was the last day for transporting different materials, that is for the presidential candidates. Remember, according to the electoral body, that is IEBC, there are few counties, those are 5 counties that are in the insecurity area where the presidential ballot papers or the presidential ballots were airlifted. These counties, among them is Wajir, Tana River, Mandera, as well as Garissa. So okay, so I'm being told we just take a very short commercial break. Sambu will be joining us in a few from Bomas. Remember, you can as well share your message of peace. That is on our SMS number 0111220044. We are also live on all our social media pages, Facebook and Twitter. That is KAKTV_Kenya. So we take a very short commercial break. When we come back, we'll head straight to the Bomas of Kenya.
Get the very best Christian television here on Kirk TV.
It's such an honor and a privilege to have you on board.
And I'm delighted to bring us the Word of God.
Be nourished holistically with our program lineup from Matters Health.
The health of women, mothers and children is a very fundamental and key area to invest and focus in.
Faith.
Bless all of us, Lord. Bless the whole country of Kenya.
Family.
You stay here and transform families. Stable families for
stable society. Educational.
To educate you, help you and learn new laws.
Kazi na mali. Sisi ndisi.
It is junior talent in the program called Kirk Watoto.
As well as national issues.
In our part as a national government, we will continue to cooperate with like-minded stakeholders.
Experience it all here on Kirk TV.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Agosti 9, siku ya siku. Wakenya wazalendo wa matabaka yote wanapania kufanya uamuzi debeni. Uamuzi ambao utaathiri mustakabali wa taifa hili kwa miaka 5 ijayo. Mandani wako runinga ya Kirk, tupo tayari kutembea nawe kila hatua ya uchaguzi mkuu wa Agosti 9. Tutakuletea ripoti za moja kwa moja kutoka kwenye vituo vya kupigia kura, matangazo na uchambuzi wa kipekee studioni hadi nususi za matokeo kila yatakapotukia. Kila siku saa 24 tutakufahamisha kiuhakika na kiufasaha hadi pale mshindi atakapotangazwa. Kirk TV, uchaguzi 2022.
So welcome back to Kirk in the Morning. Use the hashtag Uchaguzi 2022 to interact with us. Remember, Chris Sambu is on standby at the Bomas of Kenya. So he'll just be updating us on what exactly is happening at the Bomas of Kenya, including the presser that is the IEBC is about to share with different media houses on how prepared they are as far as the general election is concerned. So Chris Sambu, if you can hear me, just share with us of what exactly is happening at the Bomas of Kenya.
All right, a very good morning, Ida Monzati, while you are in studio. We're indeed coming to you live from the Bomas of Kenya. And as you all know, this will be the National Tallying Center. And just to bring you up to speed with what is happening right here at the Bomas of Kenya, it's all systems go for the tallying of the national elections. Of course, where we are standing is just in front of the Uchaguzi Hall, where the National Tallying Center will be, and all votes of the presidency will be tallied right from the hall that is right behind me, as my camera person can zoom in so that you can be able to see what exactly I'm talking about. That is the Uchaguzi Hall, where the National Tallying Center will be, and activities inside still ongoing. Preparations by the Independent Election Boundaries Commission, IEBC, as they seek to put everything set for the national tallying, because tomorrow Kenyans will come out in millions just to cast their votes, and all those votes will eventually end at this particular National Tallying Center. And just to bring you up to speed with yet what is happening right here at the IBC, as we were coming in, lots of preparation, security being heightened at this place, and the entry to this particular place is now becoming a mountain to climb, even as the afternoon checks in, because this morning there was heavy security deployed at this particular Bomas of Kenya, where we expect a lot of activities by the end of today. As you can see, lots of preparations are undergoing, and everything here put out to indicate that indeed we are getting into the election mood. And tomorrow, as Kenyans cast their, their votes, everything is set here at the IEBC at the Bomas of Kenya. The IEBC is seeking to put everything set. The media houses already picking their position, setting their standards to be able, to broadcast each and everything that will be happening as well. We'll also be bringing you every picture that will be coming out at the Bomas of Kenya this morning. And just to bring you up to speed, remember, we are having 46,229 polling stations all over the country, and all those votes will be counted and eventually will end at this particular Uchaguzi Hall. They will be counted to contribute to the National Tallying Center. And of course, the presidential election is what is the center of attraction, with all the tallying expected to happen here at the Bomas of Kenya. And we expect so many activities right now, because the other side of this particular of where we are standing is activities to be able to put everything in order to ensure that all goes well come tomorrow. But even as we wait for that, the IEBC has put out their sentiments that they are expecting everything to go well. All systems are go for the IEBC. Remember, each and every polling station will have to count their votes, and then the votes will be transmitted to the National Tallying Center, where it will be the overall tallying of all counted, votes from different polling stations. Remember, every Kenyan will be able to cast for the vote for the governor, for the senator, for the woman representative, as well as members of parliament and also members of county assembly. All those votes will be counted at the constituency level, and then at the county level. Eventually, they will end up here at the Bomas of Kenya to be counted at the National Tallying Center. Remember, that is what is happening right now, but there is not much that is happening in regards to what we expect tomorrow. But apart from the preparations, I've been able to see some security apparatus at this point, of course, heightening the security because of the activities that will be going on starting tomorrow morning, because the IEBC has put it clear that this is an election that is well prepared as compared to the 2017 general election. Entrance at the Bomas of Kenya is still amounting to climb, because this morning we faced some hurdles before we get in here, indicating that indeed nothing is left out to ensure that everything goes smooth this morning. So we keep an eye on what is happening, all preparations that are going on at the Bomas of Kenya ahead of tomorrow's, as Kenyans come out in large numbers in their millions to vote in this particular general election. 22.1 million registered voters are expected to cast their votes in different regions. The IEBC this morning indicating that areas that have been termed as hotspot areas already put under control. The northeastern region, of course, the distribution of election materials already being done by the way of aircraft. And that is what we expect right from the Bomas of Kenya. So much activities, but we'll be coming to you live in our subsequent broadcast as we seek to put you up to speed with what exactly is happening at the Bomas of Kenya. But for now, chilly morning, but preparation still undergoing to make all systems go for the IEBC to be able to conduct their operations as smooth as they can. Ida Monzasi, that is what is happening right here. Lots of preparations and nothing more is being done as of now. But we expect by the time the evening checks in, that there will be so much activities ahead of tomorrow. Ida.
Well, thank you so much, Chris Sambu, for updating us on what exactly is happening at the Bomas of Kenya. That is the National Tallying Center. So, Chris Sambu, if you can hear me, I don't know if we're expecting any press briefing from the IEBC. Maybe you can just let us know, and especially if all materials has been transported to the various polling stations.
All right, Ida, as you can get from me, the IEBC, just a few minutes just behind me at the Uchaguzi Hall, they have issued a presser and they have been able to speak of the issues arising in regards to different polling stations' preparedness. There was a concerns on whether there will be polling stations that will be facing problems in regards to their preparations and the transmission of the election results. But the IEBC has put it clear that all systems are go for those polling stations yesterday, indicating that the different polling stations that will have challenges, then they will have to be moved to safer regions, especially in the areas of Kerio Valley. Remember, they will also be talking later on in the afternoon as they seek to update Kenyans on all preparations ahead of tomorrow. The IEBC has spoken this morning. They will speak again because we expect more of the IEBC to be talking, because this is the day that is set for them to make it clear to Kenyans that they indeed prepared for this particular election. So we are keeping an eye and following each and every step of the commissioners and also the chairman as they seek to update the Kenyan people. But as for now, the IEBC this morning has talked to us and told us that everything is set, all preparation are set, distribution of election materials is ongoing, even as they seek to make sure that each and every polling station in the country receives their election materials. And that is what we understand as of now. Of course, issues will be arising, and as they arise, the IEBC has indicated that they will be addressing each issue at the time that it arises. So we keep an eye and wait to see whether they will be also addressing different issues. But for now, we expect them to speak in the afternoon. Ida.
Much Chris Sambu for the updates, and as Chris Sambu puts it, it's all systems go at the Bomas of Kenya, 21 hours to the general election. So just a recap of what Chris Sambu has shared with us. The Independent and Electoral Commission, that is IEBC, has assured Kenyans that all polling stations will receive or have already received the different polling materials. He has also shared that security, or there is heavy security that has been deployed at the Bomas of Kenya. Remember, that is the National Tallying Center, and therefore that is where all presidential results will be tallied and shared to us as they are transmitted to the national polling or the National Tallying Center. Sambu has also, or he was coming to us live from the Uchaguzi Hall, where that hall will be the National Tallying Center. So thank you so much, Chris Sambu, and we take a very short break. We'll be right back with more in the news updates.
welcome your feedback on our programming. For questions or comments, kindly get in touch with us via email info@kaktv.org, SMS 011120044 or call us on 0794 588 054.
I'm Celestine Kemunto. I'm taking a bachelor's in business information technology. I chose ZTech because first of all, ZTech has been ranked among the best in ICT, and I thought it will be best. It will be best for my course. First of all, there are so many ICT labs in ZTech University, which enables students, mostly those who are pursuing IT courses, to get to know more about their courses, of which the labs have so many computers which have Ethernet, which is easier for them to browse. If I were given a chance to choose another university, I'll definitely choose ZTech University.
Apply today. ZTech University. Invent your future.
Good journalism is bold, in-depth, unique, captivating, reflects, and the hub of feature stories. Watch us for exceptional stories that are about you, from you, and for you. Kirk TV presents itself as the hub of feature stories. Ranging from health and environment,
either there is extreme drought or extreme floods, and these will affect people.
Religion and politics.
And the man looked at the boy, looked at the mother, and told the boy, going forward, don't wet the bed again.
There come a time when the nation is more important than an individual.
Education and socio-economic issues.
Nasaidika kwa sababu nikishona moja mbili nauza, napata kitu ya kulisha watoto.
I have met with other tribes which I have never met before.
To other stories that touch on your day-to-day life.
Ndio iko mingi zaidi. Tafadhali mnasaidia maji ya nyazi.
Tingatinga amekanyanga kila kitu.
Hatujawahi kuona mabadiliko yote kuhusiana na serikali ya kujengea sisi.
Kwanza kitu naweza omba tu nishikiliwe tu pande ya masomo tu ya watoto.
Kirk TV, the hub of feature stories.
Welcome back and thank you for keeping it Kirk in the morning. Remember the hashtag to use is Uchaguzi 2022. So back to the news updates. On the last Sunday before the 2022 general election, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya presidential candidate Raila Odinga knelt and prayed for the country and for his victory. Kneeling to his right was his running mate Martha Karua, and to his left was his wife Ida Odinga. The three, together with Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka and their respective families, were part of a service themed the National Solemn Assembly held at the KICC in Nairobi's central area, whose message centered on breaking the curses that have afflicted the country, that is bloodshed, tribalism and corruption. The service was attended by clergy of different faiths, Christianity, Islam and Hinduism, who presided over the event. They prayed for the leaders' health, safety and for victory.
But you are not going to lay hands on anybody. Do not lay hands on anybody. Praise God. Amen. So very quickly, we are going to have the first person praying is going to pray for His Excellency the Right Honorable Raila Odinga and Dr. Mama Ida Odinga and family. Can we have Reverend Diana Mondi coming to the microphone? Diana Mondi, where are you? Okay, a brief song as Baba is coming down. A brief song. Diana, you're here.
Well, on the same note, Deputy President and Kenya Kwanza's presidential running mate William Ruto attended the church service at Jesus Teaching Ministry and Jesus Winner Ministry churches in Nairobi County yesterday. Quoting the Bible, Ruto spoke about knowing God, this showing confidence about him winning.
You are the author and finisher of our salvation.
Neno la Mungu kwa Daniel 11:32 inasema, lakini wale wanaomjua Mungu wao watakuwa jasiri na watafanya mambo makuu. Because we know the God we believe in, we will be strong. Na ndio sababu mkituona mbali na changamoto nyingi tumepitia, wengi walisema hatutafika 2022, wengi wakasema haitakuwa hivi, haitakuwa vile, kuna deep state, kuna na system, kuna na mambo mengine. Lakini kwa sababu tunamjua Mungu, we have come this far because our trust is in God. Methali 18 mstari wa 18 inasema, kura hukomesha ubishi na kura huamua wakuu wanaoshindana. Hakuna njia nyingine, ni kura. Lakini ukirudi nyuma kidogo pale kwa Methali 16, nataka muandike 16 mstari wa 33. Proverbs 16 verses 33. Neno la Mungu linasema, kura hupigwa kujua yatakayotokea. Lakini, that's the most important part. Lakini uamuzi wake wa hiyo kura inapigwa uko kwa Mwenyezi Mungu. Unanielewa? Methali 16:33. Kura hupigwa kujua yatakayotokea, lakini uamuzi wake wa hiyo kura uko kwa Mwenyezi Mungu. So nawaomba wakati huu mutusaidie kuomba Mungu ili uamuzi wake wa hii kura tunapiga, Mungu aamue pamoja na sisi.
Well, it was indeed a prayer weekend. Remember, that is the deputy president as well as presidential or the Kenya Kwanza's presidential candidate William Ruto, where he held a prayer yesterday, as well as Azimio la Umoja One Kenya presidential candidate Raila Odinga, who held a prayer at the KICC. So in the same mood, Kenya Kwanza's presidential running mate Rigathi Gachagua also had a prayer session ahead of the 2022 polls tomorrow. Remember, it's only 21 hours to the general election. The prayers were held in Madira, Nyeri County.
And we want to thank you for giving us this family as a gift to us, from Madera here, and not only limited to Madera, but as a gift to us, as the nation of Kenya. And we are receiving them as a gift from you. We pray that, Father, you will watch over them. We pray for their protection. Jesus Christ, we are praying that you will put a hedge of protection around them and watch over them.
Well, with only 21 hours remaining to the general election, just a reminder that we have 47 counties in the country, 221 constituency with 46,229 polling stations. 47 counties, 291 constituencies, 46,229 polling stations. So remember, it's only 21 hours to the general election, and as the IEBC tagline goes, your vote, your future. So just on matters election preparedness and ballot papers, it is expected that all election materials have arrived to each and every constituency distributed center by this morning, with only a few hours to the big day. In a presser by the IEBC on Friday, Commissioner Francis Wanderi said the IEBC will distribute presidential materials, a process to be undertaken in 2 days between August 5th and August 6th. Earlier on, the Electoral Commissioner, that is IEBC, had announced that it will airlift ballot papers to Wajir, Garissa, Mandera, Lamu and Turkana constituencies due to security and weather concerns. Well, as we continue advocating and preaching peace, only 21 hours to the general election, you can also share your message of peace on our SMS number, that is 0111220044, or on our Twitter handle, that is KirkTV_Kenya, on Facebook and YouTube on the comment section, Kirk TV Kenya. So let's continue preaching peace even as we head to the general election. So right now, some tea for peace. As we count down hours to the general election, various organizations have intensified campaigns for a smooth and a peaceful transition following reports that tension was mounted in areas mapped as hotspots. The Program for Christian-Muslim Relationships in Africa, that is PROC-MORA, has been undertaking a peace mobilization initiative over the last 2 weeks in Nairobi to sensitize the communities on the need to coexist harmoniously before, during and after the elections.
Mama nitembee tu nikiwapea. Naweza tembea nikiwapea.
Tunataka peace, love, and unity. Tunataka peace, love, and unity. Weza. Aishi na amani.
Kama vijana wa Kawangware wamesema wanataka amani during this election and after. Kawangware ni yetu na sisi hapa ndio kwetu. So hii initiative ya wasanii na ball imepata impact kubwa sana. Juu vijana wote wako hapa kwa uwanja na wamekubali na wamesema ni peace. Round 2022 tunaweka amani Kawangware.
So we are here today joining to Kawangware community to promote peace. Because we know without a peace, people can't do anything. So during this period, election period, our role is to promote and preach peace, peace before election, peace during the election period, and peace after election. So it's for that we are here today to play games and to call youth people to do everything to bring peace in this country and in this period.
Well, that is a call for peace from different organizations. Remember, you can also send in your peace messages. That is on our SMS number 0111 220044. So we take a very short break. We'll be right back with more on election preparedness as well as voting education. So don't go too far.
Good journalism is bold, in-depth, unique, captivating, reflects, and the hub of feature stories. For exceptional stories that are about you, from you, and for you, Kirk TV presents itself as the hub of feature stories. Ranging from health and environment,
either there is extreme drought or extreme floods, and these will affect people.
Religion and politics.
And the man looked at the boy, looked at the mother, and told the boy, going forward, don't wet the bed again.
There come a time when the nation is more important than an individual.
Education and socio-economic issues.
Nasaidika kwa sababu nikishona moja mbili nauza. Napata kitu ya kulisha watoto.
I have met with other tribes which I have never met before.
To other stories that touch on your day-to-day life.
Ndio iko mingi zaidi. Tafadhali mnasaidia maji ya nyazi.
Tinga amekanyanga kila kitu.
Hatujawahi kuona mabadiliko yote kuhusiana na serikali ya kujengea sisi.
Kwanza kitu naweza omba tu nishikiliwe tu pande ya masomo tu ya watoto.
Kirk TV, the hub of feature stories.
Idea ilikuja ukiwa third year in school, in college?
Actually nilikuwa natafuta multiple income streams, maybe to so that I could survive comfortably in school. So we do house cleaning, which is deep house cleaning, where we clean every space in the house. Post-construction cleaning, where we manage the cleaning after the construction is over. We clean all the mess, like all the paint spillage, remove all the remnants of construction and dispose them carefully.
Agosti 9, siku ya siku. Wakenya wazalendo wa matabaka yote wanapania kufanya uamuzi debeni. Uamuzi ambao utaathiri mustakabali wa taifa hili kwa miaka 5 ijayo. Mandani wako runinga ya Kirk, tupo tayari kutembea nawe kila hatua ya uchaguzi mkuu wa Agosti 9. Tutakuletea ripoti za moja kwa moja kutoka kwenye vituo vya kupigia kura, matangazo na uchambuzi wa kipekee studioni hadi nususi za matokeo kila yatakapotukia. Kila siku saa 24 tutakufahamisha kiuhakika na kiufasaha hadi pale mshindi atakapotangazwa. Kirk TV, uchaguzi 2022.
Get the very best Christian television here on Kirk TV.
It's such an honor and a privilege to have you on board.
And I'm delighted to bring us the Word of God.
Be nourished holistically with our program lineup from Matters Health.
The health of women, mothers and children is a very fundamental and key area to invest and focus in.
Faith.
Bless all of us, Lord. Bless the whole country of Kenya.
Family.
We stay here and transform families. Stable families
for stable society. Educational.
To educate you, help you and learn new laws.
Kazi na Mali. Sisi ndisi.
It is junior talent in the program called Kirk Watoto.
As well as national issues.
And our part as a national government, we will continue to cooperate with like-minded stakeholders.
Experience it all here on Kirk TV.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome back, and thank you so much for keeping me company right here at Kirk in the morning. Remember, we have discussing various matters as far as the country and elections are concerned. Remember, Chris Sambu is at the Bomas of Kenya. He's just updated us on what exactly is happening at the Bomas of Kenya. Remember, he'll also be updating us after the presser by the Independent and Electoral Commission. So if you're just joining us, remember we are also live on all our social media pages, Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook and YouTube, and Kirk TV_Kenya on Twitter. You can also share in your message of peace only 21 hours to the general election through our SMS number, that is 011220044. So we continue with the news updates, and as Kenyans head to the polls tomorrow, they should be vigilant and sober. I spoke to Amina Sood. Here is what she says Kenyans should look out for. Definitely one that stands out is every voter should confirm that the ballot paper are stamped by the IEBC stamp. Have a look.
Ukifika pale COVID protocol bado ziko, bado utaosha mikono na uje ukiwa umevaa mask, itakuwa vizuri zaidi. Ukiingia ndani, kitu cha kwanza watakokuuliza, je, umeshawahi kupiga kura? Na hana haja kukuuliza, wataangalia vidole vyako 10 ikiwa kimoja chako kimetiwa rangi. Kwa hivyo ikiwa kikutiwa rangi kile kidogo, utakuwa hujapiga kura. Utachukuliwa ID yako, iangaliwe, je, yafanana na wewe? Ikiwa yafanana na wewe, sasa watachukua hiyo ID, wakwambie sasa tumia kidole chako chochote uweke kwenye huo mtambo. Ule mtambo utaweza kutueleza kama huyu ndiye huyo mtu anayepiga kura. na yuatakikana kupiga kura kwenye kituo hicho. Maana ikiwa hupigi huko kwa kituo hicho, kile ule mtambo utaeleza vizuri huyu si wa kituo hichi na itakwambia ni kituo gani. Kwa hivyo yule clerk ataweza kukulekeza mahali pa kwenda kupiga kura. Lakini ikiwa ni wapale utapewa ballot na clerk wa pili na watatu na wanne atakupatia zile ballot paper ambazo mmezionyesha. Ballot paper 6. Ballot paper ngapi? 6 zote. Akisha kukupatia atakulekeza mahali pa kwenda kupiga kura. Tafadhali weka alama moja peke yake kwa yule mgombea unayemtaka. Alama moja. Kapiga tiki kazidi paka ikafikiriwa ni watu wawili au kapigia watu wawili au kaandika jina lako au katia signature. Wengine ukaa chini wakajichora kabisa sura zao wataka waonekane hapo wajulikane yeye ndiye aliyekupigia. Ushafahamu? Ukishakufanya vitu kama hivyo, mwanzo ile ballot paper ukipewa hakikisha imepigwa muhuri nyuma. Hakikisha muhuri umepigiwa na huyo clerk, kwa sababu yeye ni mwanadamu pia. Aweza kusahau, pengine kampigisha story akasahau kupiga. Kwa hivyo wewe kama mpigia kura, hakikisha ballot paper yako imepigwa muhuri nyuma ya hiyo ballot paper. Sasa ukishakupewa hizo ballot paper zako 6, kimbia nenda taratibu paka kwenye booth. Hapo kwenye chumba cha kupigia kura. Utapiga kura moja kwa moja, kwa kila ballot paper utatia alama moja. Kwa hivyo utakuwa na ballot paper 6 ambazo zishawekwa.
Well, usijichore, piga tu tick kisha tumbukiza kwenye ile ballot box. So that's Amina Sood, is the IEBC's manager for voter education. So she continued explaining the systems put in place to ensure that each and every Kenyan gets a chance to vote, including special group that consists of people living with disabilities, pregnant women, and those with little children, as well as the elderly.
Pale nje kwenye foleni kuna foleni mbili. Kuna foleni ya watu wa kawaida, alafu kuna na foleni ya watu ambao hawajiwezi. Na kutojiweza inaweza kuwa huoni, inaweza kuwa ni mjamzito, inaweza kuwa ni uzee tu au na mimba au pengine una mtoto mdogo. Kwa hivyo hayo yote yatakuwa kuna foleni yao. Wao wenyewe wataangalia nani yuko vulnerable zaidi, ana shida zaidi, watampisha mbele. Wao wenyewe pia watazungumza. Kwa hivyo hapo nje kutakuwa na mambo kama hayo. Na kuna watu wamejitolea kutusaidia. Ikiwa una watoto, kuna kijitenti hapo nje cha kuwabeba hawa watoto kuangalilie kitambo cha wewe upige kura. Kwa hivyo kuna msaada wa aina nyingi hapo nje ambao utakuja uwasaidie. Na yule ambaye haoni kabisa aweza kuja na mtu wa kumsaidia. Pengine ni yeye, pengine si kwa sababu haoni, pengine ni uzee, pengine hajui kusoma pia. Kwa hivyo hataki aende asaidiwe huko ndani. Anaruhusiwa kuleta mtu wa kumsaidia. Lakini huyu wa kumsaidia naye hawezi kusaidia mtu mwingine, atasaidia huyo mtu mmoja peke yake. Kwa hivyo akiingia ndani atamsaidia paka amalize. Lao mwenyewe hutaki kusaidiwa na yeye, pengine hutaki mtu wako ajue kama wewe umempigia nani, wewe njoo tu paka pale. Ukifika PO atakuwa amekaa standby, yuakungoja. Ukimwambia mimi nataka msaada wako, mimi siwezi kufanya vitu hivi na sikuja na msaada na mtu wa kunisaidia, atakusaidia yeye. Na wakati wa kupiga kura atawaita maagenti waje waone lile unalolisema ndio yeye analolifanya. Isije kawa wewe wasema taka A, yeye akakuandikia B. Kwa hivyo usiwe na wasiwasi ikiwa hutaweza kusaidika, kunao PO wa kuweza kukusaidia.
Well, that's Amina Sood. Remember, she is the manager for voter education at the IEBC. Just moving on, still on matters election, the IEBC confirmed that it will deploy printed register of voters at polling stations following a court order directing so. Speaking at a press conference, the electoral body led by its chairman Wafula Chebukati stated that the register will be used to cross out names of votes after identification using the KIMS kits.
The decision of the first and second respondents, that's the commission, signified by a letter dated 10th June 2022 stating that the first respondent shall not use the manual register of voters in the general election of Tuesday 9th 2022 is unconstitutional, and that the said decision is hereby quashed. B, that the first and second respondents shall, in the conduct of the general election, apply the provisions of Regulation 69 of the Elections General Regulations 2012. It's worth noting that the Court of Appeal, in its judgment dated 4th August 2017, recorded a consent between NASA and the IEBC introducing a memorandum of the Commission CEO dated 27th July 2017 that was adopted and incorporated into the judgment. The Court of Appeal then held that 1, biometric verification of a voter is the primary mode of identifying voters at the polling station. 2, where a voter cannot be identified using biometrics, the presiding officer shall use a complementary mechanism of alphanumeric search in the presence of agents, and the voter shall fill Form 32A before being issued with 6 ballot papers. 3, the presiding officer will resort to the use of the printed register of voters after approval from the Commission upon confirmation that the KIMS kit has completely failed and that there is no possibility of repair or replacement. And 4, the contents of the said memo dated 27th July 2017 shall be adhered to by all concerned persons in application of Regulation 69 and 83 of the Election General Regulations 2012. Guided by the Court of Appeal judgment of 4th August 2017, the Commission resolved to use the printed register of voters only in instances where the KIMS kits completely fail and that there's no possibility of repair or replacement. On Wednesday, 29th June 2022, the Commission held a consultative meeting with presidential candidates at the Windsor Hotel, where we deliberated on a raft of issues, including the deployment of the register of voters at the polling stations. During the meeting, the Commission explained the inherent risks associated with the use of printed register of voters by way of crossing out names of voters after identification using the KIMS kit. The Commission, in compliance with the said decision of the High Court in Constitutional Petition number E306 of 2022, shall now deploy the printed register of voters at the polling station where names of voters shall be crossed out after identification of voters using the KIMS kits. The Commission commits to adhere to the rule of law and will facilitate the realization of political rights of Kenyans as encapsulated in Article 38 of the Constitution in order to deliver a free, fair, and credible general election.
So that is the IEBC chair, Wafula Chebukati, just explaining on the issue raised by the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya, that is on 10th July 2022. So as he puts it, the manual register is back and it will only be used if the electronic system or the KIMS kit fail. So that is Wafula Chebukati, the IEBC chair. So sticking to the matters general elections, the PCA moderator of the 23rd General Assembly, Right Reverend Dego Mutai, made a call to all Kenyans to come out and take part in the constitutional rights come August of 9th, 2022. Speaking from the PCA office headquarters, Reverend Dego Mutai centered his message on voting a Christian duty.
The 9th, and we would want to interact with you as a voter in regard to that election. We first want to thank God that we did elections in 2017. It's now 5 years. The elections had challenges then because the matters went up to the Supreme Court. A decision was made. There was a repeat, and not everybody was very happy about it. So there was tension thereafter. But we thank God, in our usual resilient spirit as Kenyans, we were able to overcome that, and now it's 5 years, we are getting into other general elections. We know that that period has had its fair share of challenges, but the hardworking Kenyans have put their best foot forward. They have provided for their families. They have looked for their upkeep. We also thank our leaders. I know there are people who feel like even when they participate, it makes no difference. That is not true. When you participate in an election, you have a right now to challenge leaders because you participated in that election. If you didn't, then you have no right whatsoever. If you participate in an election, you are also entitled to pray for them because you were part of the exercise. Whether who you voted for won or didn't win, you have a stake in the outcome of the elections. Therefore, let all of us make sure that we participate. The other people who fail to participate because they feel like, I'm not getting a candidate among the many who are there. I can't, put my finger on one whom I like. But if you can't be the one you love the one you're with. Previously, where we have had new commissioners, believe that they are equal to the task that is before them. And since they have been provided with a budget, they have been giving us press briefings, telling us what they have, what they don't have. They have dispatched electoral materials to all places. They have told us that they have even choppers to places they think they can't access easily. And they have recruited clerks and presiding officers. So we want to trust that they are ready. And we are hoping that all will go right. Therefore, now we cannot say that they are not ready because they have given us assurances severally. And therefore, we go to elections hoping and praying that all will go well. Now, on the day of polling, you know where you register. You are only required to carry your identity card. Those who registered with a passport, then they carry their passport. When you get there, if you get there is a queue, just queue. You can engage the person before you or behind you, but don't engage into a lot of politics. Because this is the deciding moment. Get to the polling booth and adhere and obey what those officers will tell you. And once you have exercised your right of voting, exit the polling station. Don't spend your time there. You have no business there. You are not employed by IEBC. You are not employed by any of the candidates as an agent. So don't spend more time there. Get yourself to do something. It will be a public holiday. Therefore, you can be with your family. You can be go back to your farm. Make yourself busy because elections, once you have voted, there's nothing else that is expected from you. The IEBC will take care of the vote. And when it is time to count, they will count, and they believe they will do the right counting. They will make the right announcements. Once the announcements are made, receive the results as declared. If you are not happy with them, well, you have no issue insulting anybody or getting to the streets. There are those who are participating in the elections. If they are aggrieved, there is a machinery that is provided where complaints can be made. Of course, once announcement is made, the next thing is to go to court. And the courts, I'm sure, are ready for the same. The CJ has assured us that everything is in place. So those with the grievances, they will be dealt with at the court level. And once decisions are made, we will take them. They may not always decide as per our wishes, but we are subject to the law of this land. And therefore, we will live with those decisions. You who didn't win this time, you may win another time. And you who won this time, you may lose another time. So there is no cause of feeling very boastful. There is no cause of feeling very defeated. As long as the elections are done and the court process is followed, we should live with the consequences, because that is what democracy entails. For our candidates, we ask you again to preach peace. You have one more rally, maybe on tomorrow, as your final rally. Don't talk about peace. You have already told us what you want to do. We have heard you. And by now, we have made decisions. There could be a few people who will change their minds overnight before the D-Day, But many of us have made up their minds. Therefore, now talk about peace. If there are any issues that are being mentioned, let the relevant people address them. Let them not ignore them. We have candidates who are saying that there are some irregularities that are happening. Let them be addressed, and addressed faithfully and with truth. But that should not stop anything from happening. There are very many players who will be involved in this election. We know the media will be involved. And we would want the media not to bring up matters that are not of any use to the elections. You know, when you see some people having differences, don't amplify it so much, because it may send the wrong signals to people. I know you people of media look for news, but not at the consequence of dividing the nation. So be responsible. Every player should be very responsible in regard to the elections that are before us. Because at the end of it, we have a country. We have families. We have our individual lives. We do not want to lose anything because of the elections that are coming. Only the time spent at the polling booth should be our time there. The rest of the time, leave it to those who are employed. Leave that time to IEBC and anybody else who is involved in the elections. We know we also have the law enforcers. We have seen a lot of activity showing that they are ready to give us security. We hope they will not provoke us, and we shall not provoke them. And they are there for our good. So when you pass by where they are, just tell them hello. Because you don't mean anything bad, they don't mean anything bad. And they are there to ensure that there is security all through. Again, when it comes to the announcement of elections, those who win, I would want to speak to you on behalf of our church, that you should celebrate gracefully, aware that there are heavy tasks ahead of you, because the country requires leadership. This is not a matter to organize grand homecoming parties. You can only celebrate what you have achieved. Now that you have been elected, it doesn't mean that it's a great feat if you have not delivered through the office that we shall have given you. Therefore, once you have won the elections, sit down and pray. And then start asking yourself, how do we fulfill the pledges that we made to our people? Because you who will win, remember you made pledges, we shall be very hard on you on the pledges that you have made to Kenyans. If you promised us that you will get some money, remember the end of the month is coming. We shall be looking for that money. If you promised us that you will take care of our small business, we shall be coming to you, following the right process to make you give us the money that you promised us. So it's not a walk in the park. There are tasks that will be there for you to execute. For those who will be leaving office, we want to thank you for the period you have served, particularly the president and the governors who are exiting because their term has come to an end. We know that you have your interest. There are those who would wish elected. If there, you still should be glad to hand over to those who come into office. Make sure the handing over, the taking over is smooth, so that no one would say, you know, I didn't get this, yet it was there. Hand over and take over in the right way, in an atmosphere of peace, in an atmosphere of valuing the country more than anything else. Once again, we exhort all Presbyterians to exercise their civic duty, to maintain peace, to love their neighbors no matter their political affiliation. We will be glad to congratulate the winners, but we should also be glad to work with those who may not have won. They are still our people. We have very many Presbyterians participating in this election. We will be happy to have many of them. And where they do not, they are still our members. We will work with them. We will support them, because this is not the final election unless Jesus comes. There will be other elections in the future, and people should be ready for them, even though they may have lost in the one that is coming. The public transport, please do not overcharge people who are going home. Whether they are going or coming back, just charge the fares that are entitled to you. May God bless our country. May God bless our church. Amen. Thank you very much.
Yes, so that's a very key message from the PCA's moderator of the 23rd General Assembly, Right Reverend Thego Mutai, under the theme, Voting a Christian Duty. So as we mentioned earlier, Chris Sambu is on standby at the Bomas of Kenya, and he'll just be keeping us or bringing us up to date with what exactly is happening there, the activities that are ongoing at the Bomas of Kenya. So Sambu, if you can hear me, to you. So Sambu is, it looks like he's still not ready, but he'll just be joining us live from Bomas in a few, and he'll just be camping there throughout the day and just updating us on what exactly the IEBC is doing right here at the Bomas of Kenya. Remember, that is the National Tallying Center where the presidential results will be streamed. So I'm told Sambu is ready, and if you can hear me, Sambu, to you.
All right, Aida Monzati, I'm getting you loud and clear from the Bomas of Kenya. Here we're expecting so much activities in the course of this day. As we indicated earlier on in our first link as we spoke from the Bomas of Kenya, is that preparations are still underway as the IEBC seeks to set all systems go for the preparation of this particular election. There is so much that has been happening right from morning in regards to heightening of the security detail at the Bomas of Kenya. We've just seen a batch of police officers being dispatched to this particular area. As my camera person can zoom, there is so much activities in front of us where the different envoys are getting in the Bomas of Kenya. It's a clear indication that this is an election that has been prepared well. And as you can zoom, you can see so many activities, so much movements. The police officers are deployed in details at this particular area as they seek to maximize the security. Apart from that, we've also seen the different commissioners arrive at this area ahead of the counting, and rather the pressure of the election preparedness in this particular area. As you can see, those are live pictures coming to you live from Bomas of Kenya. Police presence right here, police detail heightened at this particular Bomas of Kenya. Even the entrance at this point is now condoned, even right from the Uchaguzi Hall that we came to you live in the morning, where the National Tallying Center will be right now, is under heavy security detail. Just a clear indication that this place is now becoming a center of interest to the Kenyan people. Of course, just bringing you up to speed with all the preparations, because this is our live coverage of the Uchaguzi 2022 as we seek to bring you all live events happening at the Bomas of Kenya. Kumbuka kwamba tutakuwa tukikuletea matukio yote kwenye ukumbi huu wa Bomas pindi tu yatakapokuwa yakitukia, kuanzia kwa hesabu za kura. Manake hiki ndicho kituo kikuu ambacho kitakuwa kikifanywa hesabu ya zile kura za uchaguzi wa urais. Manake katika kila eneo bunge kutakuwa na kituo cha kuhesabia kura. Popote patapopigwa kura, hizo kura zitaweza kuhesabiwa eneo hilo na kisha baadaye kuhesabiwa katika kituo cha kaunti nzima, na baadaye ndo hayo matokeo yataweza kuwasilishwa kupitia njia ya mitandao kuweza kufika katika ukumbi huu wa Bomas, ambapo chumba kikuu cha kuhesabia kura tayari kimetengwa. Ulinzi mkali tayari tayari umewekwa pale, manake hakuna anayeruhusiwa sasa kuingia, manake ni dakika za mwisho, matayarisho kabisa kuweza kuhakikisha kila kitu kinakwenda sawa. Magari tunayoona sasa yanaingia kwa wingi, manake kumaanisha kwamba wapo wengi wanaozidi kufika hapa kuhakikisha kwamba uchaguzi huu ama eneo hili litakuwa likiendesha shughuli zake kawaida. Kama unavyoona sasa ni afisa, naona kwamba naibu inspector general wa polisi Nur Gabo ameweza kuwasili eneo hili kuweza kukagua hali ya usalama iko vipi, pamoja na makamanda wa vitengo mbalimbali vya polisi. Pia nimeweza kumuona kamanda wa kikosi cha GSU akiweza kufika eneo hili. Kama unavyoona picha hizo ni moja kwa moja kutoka katika ukumbi wa Bomas, ambapo ni eneo litakalokuwa linahesabiwa kura za urais. Tayari usalama ni kuashiria kwamba umeshawasilishwa eneo hili. Tumeweza kuona pia mabalozi mbalimbali wakiweza kufika hapa kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba wanahusishwa kabisa kwenye uchaguzi huu. Hizo ni picha za moja kwa moja za kutoka ukumbi wa Bomas. Aliyewasili sasa ni naibu inspector general wa polisi Nur Gabo, ambaye amekuja kuweza kukagua ulinzi ama kuweza kukagua matayarisho ya kiusalama yaliyoko eneo hili. Awali tuliweza kumuona pia katibu mkuu katika wizara hiyo ya usalama akiweza kufika eneo hili na kuweza kuangalia mambo yako vipi. Sasa hivi ni shughuli tu za kuhakikisha kila kitu kiko shwari, kuhakikisha yote yaliyopangiwa yameweza kuingiana sawa, kuhakikisha kwamba kesho itakapotimu wakati wa Kenya kwa mamilioni yao watajitokeza kupiga kura, basi kura zao zitaweza kuhesabika na pia usalama wao utaweza kudumishwa. Kumbuka kwamba kulikuwa na hisia mbalimbali kuhusu usalama wa wananchi mbalimbali ama wapiga kura katika maeneo yaliyotajwa kuwa sugu, lakini IEBC imeweza kusema kwamba yote yako shwari, hakuna la kuogopesha, manake kila kitu kimewekwa sawa. Kote ambako kulikuwa na shida ya kuweza kusafirisha zile bidhaa za kupigia kura, basi yote yameweza kufanywa kupitia kwa njia ya ndege. Maeneo kama yale ya Marsabit, Garissa na pia maeneo ya kaskazini mashariki yote yameweza kufanywa. Kumbuka tunakujia moja kwa moja kutoka ukumbi wa Bomas, ambapo shughuli zinazidi kunoga hapa kuhakikisha kwamba yote yako sawa kuelekea kwenye uchaguzi wa hapo kesho. Manake hesabu ya kura itaanza pindi tu vituo vyote vya kura vya kupigia kura vitakavyofungwa kuanzia kesho jioni. Kumbuka vituo vyote vya kupigia kura vitafunguliwa kuanzia saa 12 asubuhi na kisha kufungwa saa 11. Iwapo kuna vituo vitachelewa kufungua, basi vitaweza kuongezewa muda zaidi wa kuhakikisha kwamba kila aliye kwenye line anapiga kura. Tunakujia moja kwa moja kutoka ukumbi wa Bomas, tutakuwa tukiweza kukupa matukio yote pindi tu yatakapotokea eneo hili, lakini kwa sasa ni kujulishe ni matayarisho tu yanaendelea hapa. Naibu inspector general wa polisi Nur Gabo ameweza kuwasili eneo hili na kuhakikisha kwamba anakagua matayarisho ya kiusalama. Makamishna wa IEBC pia wakiweza kufika hapa mapema asubuhi kuendesha shughuli nzima ya kuhakikisha kila kitu kiko sawa. Sisi tuko macho, tuko ngangari, tunakita kambi hapa siku nzima kukujuza ni yapi atakuwa kitokea. Kwa hivyo hauna budi ila kuweza kufuatilia matangazo yetu kutoka hapa Bomas na kurejesha studioni tuweze kuendelea na matangazo yetu rasmi.
Well, that is Chris Sambu coming live from the Bomas of Kenya. He's just shared with us of how the results will be transmitted right to the tallying center or the national tallying center, from the polling stations to the constituency polling stations, the county polling stations, and at the end of it, the presidential results will be streamed at the national tallying center. And this will be done by the returning officers, the deputy presiding officers, as well as presiding officers. So Chris Sambu will keep on updating us on what exactly is happening at the National Tallying Center. That is from the Bomas of Kenya, and will be sure to continue just updating you. So continue keeping it Kirk TV. So that is all we had for you on Kirk in the morning. But just a reminder about the voting or the ballot papers with the colors as well. So just to let you know that that the white paper that is for the president, the blue paper that you'll be given at the polling station, that is for the governor, the yellow paper or the yellow ballot paper, that is for the senator, purple or pinkish, that is for women representative, green is for the member of parliament, and beige is for the MCA. What to note is that you should ensure that they are IEBC stamped at the back. So those are the colors to take note of as you go to vote tomorrow, that is at the ballot or at the polling stations. And before I leave, maybe the other colors to take note of, these are the colors of our flag. That is white, red, black, and of course green. So as the black people of this green land of Kenya, let us maintain peace, that is with the white color of our flag, to avoid red, which is bloodshed. So as they put it, tusibleed ndio walid. So keep it Kirk TV. Saa 7 kamili, we will be coming with you live, that is with maandalizi ya uchaguzi 2022. Thank you so much for keeping me company. Let us maintain peace, only 21 hours to the general election. So I leave you with the do's and don'ts of voting. See you again at exactly 1 p.m.